That's what we want. Like we want to build, forgive me for this like transition here, but build a bank account of fitness, right? Building it up. So we're saving up in our fitness so that we can, at some point, yes, do you hit a peak? 100%. But how long can you hold on to that fitness level for the rest of your life so that we stave off that state of decrepitude? That's honestly, by like the 9th or 10th burpee, my legs just started burning. And then you get on the rower and you're like, oh shit. Like just trying to get anything.
I try to do an aggressive push-up.
Yeah.
Like when I started to get tired on burpees, like obviously years of doing burpees every day, I try to launch myself off the ground. Yeah, local burpee expert Ben Beck is here to talk about the technique.
Please make that the subtitle underneath it. Yeah. Local burpee expert. Aficionado.
Honestly, the ironic thing in the quarterfinals though, that was my best workout. The burpee one.
I don't think that's ironic. I think it makes sense.
It makes sense, right? That was, so what number workout was that? Was that 1? Oh, it was 1. Yeah.
But I don't think you did it first, right?
Is it bad that I can't remember?
That's all right. It was a blur.
No, you didn't. You did the handstand push-up one first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I came in with you then you did the deadlift one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you did that one, and then you ended with the bar muscle up one.
Gotcha. So that was, workout 1 it was fun. It was probably the nastiest though, I think, because you knew that you just had to move. You had to move it. Like I remember I was watching a whole bunch of different people that had done it, and I looked and watching like people weren't really pushing the shuttle runs at all.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Maybe I have to because I'm a little bit slower, on other stuff. But then I watched the person that went before me, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to keep myself under control in the shuttle runs. Overhead squats were kind of, for me, were the non-factor. The legs were okay, but it was just that last shuttle run, which seemed like for everybody, that was like Bambi legs, and it was just falling over. It was crazy.
After all that. It's funny though, it's ironic because like, it's not a tall guy workout. Like when you look at it on paper,
yes,
like none of them are. But like really, like for you to say that was your best one and you performed very well relatively as well, it's funny. But 30 burpees over the bar is like, that was a majority of the workout, and you are the local burpee guy.
Local burpee guy. That was, I was telling myself in those, I'm like, just don't get out of control.
Yeah.
Like, don't get out of control, especially on that back half. And if I were to change one thing from that, I didn't trust myself coming off the second part of the burpees. I took a step back. I was huffing and puffing, and I took a step back before I grabbed the bar. I probably let like 15 seconds go, where then I picked up the bar. Right when I picked up the bar and I did my first squat, I was like, oh, I can do 20 of these, even though I was
no shoulder fatigue.
I didn't feel anything in the
That's
overhead
so cool.
squats.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, thanks. It was a fun one.
Yeah.
It was a fun one. Yeah. The whole, what was your favorite one to do? Even though you had a little unique way of...
I tackled it in a unique fashion this year.
Not coach approved.
I honestly, I thought that the dumbbell hang squat clean bar muscle up one, I thought it was a cool one because I liked the design of how you could attack it however you wanted. So you could go in with your own strategy. So people all over the world are going to do that one differently. So I thought it was kind of cool how you had to either lean into a strength, tackle weakness, maybe mix and match. I mean, we went into it thinking, you know what, I'm just going to go nice and conservative on the dumbbell, and we don't do many hang dumbbell squat cleans. And that actually felt like a really good movement and felt good for me during that portion of it. Wish I had a little bit more strategy on that one or was more fresh, but it would have been, I think it's an interesting one to repeat and try it in a different way too. But my shoulders are all bruised up from where the dumbbells.
Just dumbbells
smacking in. And I honestly didn't realize it until you get in the shower and you turn around and it just is a stinging sensation.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you had like dirt dripping.
You guys have said that, like how your shoulders feel. You were busting up your shoulders. I'm like, I didn't feel anything, but then I got in the shower and it's like, oh, it feels kind of stingy there.
Maybe they were right. I couldn't do it now because I'm really sensitive. Like it would take me a couple more days.
Yeah, that was a unique workout. I mean, you were commenting on how I was kind of jumping my legs out and just like getting under the weight at some points. It was fun. I like those workouts. I thought, I think you have in the whole community, you have a lot of mixed reaction in terms of, whether they like the workouts or not. But I thought they were fun. I thought they were a lot of fun. And like we were talking about before in the pre-quarterfinals video, that yes, the bar muscle up is a little bit more technical and some other things are more technical, but everybody could do them.
Yeah.
Most everybody could do everything.
Absolutely. You have to look at what is the point of this thing? What's the point of the Open? And sure, the elite athletes participate with everybody, but the reality of the elite athletes making it to the games through the Open and quarterfinals and semis is really small. They have to go to other sanctioned events in order to earn a spot to the games. And the purpose of the Open is so that everybody can play. Right. So if they're gonna take a chunk of people that make it to the next level, then they should have workouts that, again, everybody can play, everybody can do. The fittest are still gonna get to the top, and then you just get to see where you're at amongst the people, amongst the general CrossFit public, and that's what's so cool. So I don't think it needs to be this ultimate showcase of really, really, really high level fitness. Honestly, the most basic of workouts, as we just experienced with burpees and rowing, can be super potent and still can celebrate your fitness.
Absolutely.
And everybody can do it.
Yeah. If we were in better condition, from, or let's say better recovery from our little escapade on the mountains in Tennessee there, that sounded weird. A lot of bonding.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of bonding. I can't quit you, Vinny. No, honestly, if I would have loved to, because those were some of those were repeatable workouts too, which I would have loved to repeat those. A couple of them just to, some people think it's very shallow and misguided. I'm like, I think you have a block of time. What is it, 4 or 5 days to do workouts, and as long as you're not going to put yourself in the hospital, I mean, you do a workout, and you're like, oh. I just misread that, or I didn't think that I could do this, and I can, or I want to adjust something. I want to do it again. I want to see if I can shave some time off. And you're right. I mean, I personally, I like to see, hey, how high can I get on the leaderboard within my group, and see where my fitness is in contrast to everybody else. I think that's the whole point.
The whole point. Which, by the way, have we even mentioned that you've unofficially qualified for the next?
When is it official?
I don't know when it's official, but you're in because you're where you're at, unless we made a really grave error in counting you. You're in.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Feels good. Feels good. I'm excited.
Cool.
I'm excited to be able to go on and have, it's kind of like a retest of this, right? In a sense, it's like being able to have another shot at seeing where I land.
Yeah, but also this, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, this gave you an accurate picture now of what you need to dive into between now and May.
There's a lot.
Did you?
It sounded like she was hinting at there's gonna be a follow-up meeting.
We need to make an appointment.
Yes, that's right. We have
you have a 10-point presentation of all the
But if you honestly think about the accomplishment too, and you'll know the details a little bit more, can you speak to really from an age group perspective, but what he really was able to accomplish and how many people had to qualify? Because when we talk about worldwide, I mean, when you start to shrink down the scope of everybody who signs up for the Open or who's trying to participate, qualify, give their best fitness, I mean, it's shrinking pretty dramatically. And I think you ended up 180th in the world?
In the Open.
Yeah.
In the Open, and then I think I'm right around 280 in after the quarterfinals, and then the top 400, at least in my age group, make it to the semifinals.
Yeah.
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 That's
So
cool.
you're like that half, and think about that, in perspective of we're talking about the whole world, people that do CrossFit. You don't know how long they've been doing CrossFit.
Right.
I don't know if any of them ran 42 miles the weekend before.
They're all short guys.
They're all short guys.
Tall guy, come on.
They weigh 175. You're over here just
doing one-armed bar muscle ups. Yeah, that's it.
At 220 now?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. I think it's just a lot of fun. I know we all work out together pretty frequently, and it's just fun to get in here and see the increase in fitness as you go. And, we're all getting older.
Yeah.
And yet, there's plenty of movements that I'm better at today than I was at 45, and now I'm 47. And I'm sure, watching you, I know that you weren't in the greatest condition to do these, but watching him do bar muscle ups, which is not something that he's been proficient at for the last 10 years, and all of a sudden rocking large chunks of bar muscle ups together. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Not to mention when I met you, you did not have any strict handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
And you knocked out a fair amount after a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. We teach in the CrossFit seminars that the loss of functional capacity is the state of decrepitude. And so our goal with CrossFit is to stave off decrepitude. And that's exactly what, you're doing more and more and more and more as you guys age. That's what we want. We want to build, forgive me for this transition here, but build a bank account of fitness, right? Building it up. So we're saving up in our fitness so that we can, at some point, yes, do you hit a peak? 100%. But how long can you hold on to that fitness level for the rest of your life so that we stave off that state of decrepitude?
I think I remember from taking the level 1 and the talk about decrepitude, and what you're talking about is that there's evidence that even young kids, they start that process. If for example you watch your daughters or Nolan, who's 7, who can sit in the bottom of a squat and be like, hey, I put this up here and move all around. But I don't think it's that far after that age, if they're not working that, they start to lose that pliability, that flexibility, unless you work on it. Yeah, and kids unfortunately just don't play as much anymore as they used to, right? So getting them into these things and CrossFit Kids or other activities and just continuing to build that up, we can just keep growing and growing, getting fitter and fitter. Yeah. So back to the last question about, okay, with all the things that an athlete, whether it's me or Vinny, because Vinny's going to do the semifinals with me anyway, right?
Got to give you something to chase,
right? That's right. I got to have something to shoot for.
You were saving it for that.
I'm just a team player.
Yeah.
But anybody that whether they qualified or not, but they're going to do it, they want to increase their fitness, and you've got, I think it's May 7th it starts, so 30, I can't do the math, 36, 38 days from now. Tell me if I'm right or wrong or somewhere in the middle. I look at that as, okay, over the next 37 days, I'm not going to max out my back squat a bunch of times thinking I'm going to get stronger. Right. I'm going to do whatever I can just to increase my engine and hopefully work on some things that, that might be some weaknesses, but I'm going to try not to overdo it. I don't know.
Yeah. No, 100%. The reality is your fitness right now, the picture, it is what it is from now and May. But to that point, working on your engine is always going to help. Just really getting some capacity in whatever, what do you think, what are you most, I don't want to say disappointed because it's such a negative word, but what are you, upon reflection, what were you most oh damn, I wish I had X?
Yeah. It's a couple things. Number one, it's so you look at a workout like the deadlift and double under workout. Okay. And deadlifts aren't a particularly strong workout for me, but I think that's not necessarily anything physiological. It's just that I don't work on them enough. I work on them when they come up in a workout, but being able to be more intentional about identifying, hey, what are my weaknesses here? All right, deadlift's one of them. Handstand push-ups, gymnastics in general. Those are weaknesses that, for somebody like me or anybody that, is trying to get better, I think that's one thing. Identifying and then making a commitment to say, all right, I'm going to add a few sessions per week to try to improve those movements. So that's one disappointed is a good word. That bothered me a little bit in the sense that, okay, they're relatively simple, movements to do, right? I can do double unders, I can do deadlifts.
They weren't super heavy.
Right, wasn't super heavy, but I didn't perform well at all. Just didn't perform well at all at those. I thought I would do better at the bar muscle up clean one, but I think that, like what Vinny said, I think having had some time or better recovery to retest that, I think we both would have done better.
Yeah.
Absolutely would have done better. So, but that is what it is. Regardless if we would have done better in a retry of it, it still remains that, hey, I'm not the best bar muscle up guy out there, right? So that's an amount of work that needs to happen over the next 3 to 6 months if I want to get a lot better at them.
I think there's not probably going to be that big increase of the fitness, but the mechanics and the way that you might move and the technical stuff, that's the unsexy stuff, which we talk about all the time, should be a lot of focus of how we're positioned in certain ways, how are we keeping ourselves safe in certain ways so that we can continue to move through the workouts at our most efficient way versus just grunting it through as we tend to do. So like for over the next 30 plus days or so, I think a lot of those mechanic stuff for you, or like positioning stuff, or how to move a little bit differently is where you'll improve versus, is your engine gonna go up that much? I don't know, but you know, the way you move and the little technique stuff that go a long way will help you be more efficient in transitioning and everything else too. So I think those are the big takeaways.
Yeah, I mean, when it's the off time, we're not playing to win. And I know it's really tempting because you do like to compete with each other.
Well, it's fun to come in class every day and compete, you know? But I get it.
Yeah, but like certain workouts you should tackle in a different way that you might lose on purpose, but what is it teaching you? What is it gonna like show you that you can tackle a different workout? But I cut you off.
No. I agree. I think it's always fun to work out with, again, people who are going to be better than you, or just people who motivate you, who are around you, whether they're younger, whether they're older. If you think about the community as a whole, I look at the Open as an opportunity for people to have their moment. And even in quarterfinals, if we look at the gym and we give people their credit for a second as we sit here and talk about them in the spot, we saw Masters athletes hit their first double unders, right? We were here to support her and give her high fives in that workout. She was able to do that, and that was an amazing moment to be around. We know that there were other athletes in the older Masters division who were hitting bar muscle ups. Now, I don't know about you, but you know, I look at my own parents or some of the other people that might be in their 60s or even older. Are they doing bar muscle ups? Can they get on the floor and comfortably play with their grandkids? And when you look at it, a lot of it's functionality of how we're going to live our lives in the later or coming years. But I get super proud of being part of a community and really having a good time with the people around you who get to hit these things, or the firsts, and everybody gets to celebrate together. So I think there's an extension of, yes, there's a level of competing, but it also sets these people up to then do something that they didn't know they could do.
Absolutely.
And myself included, where it gets you get another rep or you get another movement, and there's a support system around you to drive you to be better.
Wasn't there somebody we know that got their first chest to bar pull up in the Open?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Someone.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
That was awesome. That was a hard
And then I
workout.
think there was a bunch more after that too.
There was.
There was.
There was.
But it's a fun reminder of what like pushes us to come in on a daily basis. So when Ben even says, you know, he wants to do the semifinal workouts, I just like to be a part of it. So maybe I can be somebody that pushes him a little bit, or is it that maybe nagging little factor in his corner? He's like, I don't want him to pass me right now. So he gets an extra couple of reps. So that part's fun for me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And I think that's the great thing. I mean, there's a lot of discussion over the years about, is CrossFit about the community, or is CrossFit about the games, or where does that lie? And you know, Vinny and I have talked about this often. As much as it is, we're full believers, and this is about the community and taking community and helping people become more fit, more confident, everything. But there is that something about, I remember, like when we think back when the gym was open, Spencer Hendel was here. There was there just was just an excitement about the gym when the games came around, because there was someone at that level doing that. And I think that inspired a lot of people. Now, do we need a games athlete here for that to happen? No, but when open season comes, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting to be able to compete worldwide. And like you guys were saying, I mean, there are plenty of people like Masters athletes getting bar muscle ups and all these things. I just think that's great. And I do think that's inspiring for myself to watch people to be able to do that. And then I'm like, hey, I want to do that.
Yeah, it's what it's all about.
Yeah.
It really is.
All right, so going into semifinals, the workouts will change a little bit, right? So what are you thinking?
Well, I think you're going to start to see some really heavy lifts because there really hasn't been heavy barbell yet. And then maybe some of the flashy stuff like the handstand walking, maybe some rope climbs, GHD sit-ups. I can definitely foresee it getting a little bit higher stakes as far as that kind of stuff, which is all stuff that you have, but the fun thing about it is like, how are they going to combine these movements to, I mean, Castro loves to just like throw people for a loop, for sure. So even if you are proficient in a movement, you never know what it's going to be coupled with, and it's really going to test.
Reminds me of the Open. I mean, like when that workout was released for the, not shuttles, but the lunges and the pull-ups and the ring muscle-ups, I was never more excited about a workout than that one. Even though, you know, ring muscle-ups aren't the best thing for me, but I'm like, oh, I'm somewhat proficient there. And I got there and I just died. Absolutely died. So you're absolutely right. And like when you said handstand push-ups, I'm like, that's something that I've got to work on, like you said, Vinny, technique over the next 4 or 5 weeks to make sure that if that shows up. I've worked hard on rope climbs, you know, over the last year or so, but those, you know, need to cycle those in. That's the fun part about this, though. It's just trying to identify and not being overwhelmed, but making sure you get to a point where, to the extent that you can, you get this work in so that if they do show up, you know, I have a little confidence, you know, to take with me and say, all right, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I've put in some time here. Yeah.
So quarterfinals ends. Most of us are done. What do you say to everybody who goes, wow, I really had a good time in the Open in the quarterfinals, and I want it to come back next year, or I'm excited for it to come back next year? What's a message to them, if you have anything, or for all of us who?
Honestly, I think, like, be more excited about it. Like, I think we need to like celebrate it more.
Sure.
I think there's like a hum out there of like, oh, this is kind of dumb and it's not important, or like they take the top 25%. That's such a big number, but it's like, if you ever go to the airport and you take a look around and you just see that a majority of the world and the people out there are unfortunately just not fit. Like they're not moving their body. They're not thinking about nutrition. It's just, it's a very small amount of people that are participating in events like this. And when you really look at it, like to be the top 25% of CrossFit athletes in the world, that is a huge accomplishment. Like we're talking about a lot of people. There are a lot of people in that pool. And I think that, because I hear that mentality around here, like, oh, it doesn't, you know, oh, it's just quarterfinals, or, oh, you know, the standards aren't upheld affiliate to affiliate to affiliate. And, you know, you see those guys put the videos out there with the no reps. And I get it. Standards are important, very important. However, we're participating and we're just celebrating the things that just what you guys were just saying. What you can accomplish. And I had one of the athletes here who I would never suspect, like, doesn't really push themselves very hard day to day. But because the Open has prescribed things that you have to do in order to have the score count, she used a heavier wall ball. She tried the higher box, and she just was like, I didn't think I could do that. And her score was like 3 reps, but like she did it. And so now she's like, okay, I'm fired up for the next year, and like, what can I accomplish next time? So I think if you qualified, and if your mentality is like, well, I'm not going to go to the games, so who cares? No, like go to semifinals, give it everything you've got. I happen to know a coach who's very interested in helping you on that journey, and like give it everything. Like
100%.
Who cares if you're not going to go to the games?
Right.
But it's you versus you. Where do you rank amongst other men your age? That's it. Like, and I just think it should be celebrated. I think that, you know, we all kind of downplay our accomplishments, but it's just an amazing thing.
And nobody says that you won't go. Or,
that's true.
You know, and so it is on the table, and we don't know how the programming comes out, or how you feel, how you excel in those things. But I think it all does come back to the community's outlook on like the Open and what it stands for. And I think we all kind of go back to where you like to tell stories about the accomplishments. Like that's a new building block for that athlete and what they think is possible and where they can go. And I think the support of the people around him made that happen. And so again, I kind of focus back on how that is always the best part of this for at least me.
I think it's fantastic for the community too. I mean, taking the top 25%, giving that top 25% another round to demonstrate their fitness,
Yeah.
and to show up in a pretty short time window. So you think about it, especially as you move up in the age groups. I mean, that's different, a little bit different than being a 21-year-old athlete, right? I mean, you know, when you've got a family, you've got a lot more responsibilities. You're not a full-time professional athlete necessarily, and to be able to have so many people, you know, qualify, you know, in the 25% to move on and you know, have an opportunity to get better and to see where they rank. I think that's great. I think that's great, and I think it's especially at our gym too. We had quite a few people that qualified, and that was fun to have everybody here and shooting for it. And I agree with you. That should be celebrated.
Yeah.
You know, standards are standards, obviously, but that shouldn't take away from the celebration of, hey, look, this is what you accomplished, and let's see what you can do in the next round.
Yeah, and maybe you are working on your squat depth or something of that nature. Again, you still have a benchmark of you know what you got. Take videos of yourself, improve that, and the more that you improve those standards, then yes, your performance goes up and up. And you know, it just, I would hate to see people shy away from doing the thing because of a lot of the noise out there.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's you and your fitness on the floor, and that's it.
Yep.
Like, that's really all you can do. Show up and give it your best effort.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we're going to see how it goes.
Yep.
And this is going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to get the name of that coach that you're talking about.
I'll get
She's
you that.
not cheap.
I'll get you that information. You have to follow instructions, though.
All right. Well, we'll see. Awesome.